can start. Thank you everyone for joining our town hall tonight. Looks like we have 85 people online right now, so that's great. And hopefully this will be informative and helpful to everyone. So I guess, as you all know, the shelter in place that the county of Santa Clara issued has extended the original order to May 31st. And social distancing, or we can call it physical distancing, and sheltering in place are still active, and individuals are required to wear masks in businesses and are encouraged to wear them outdoors. The order has been revised slightly starting this week, that allows outdoor businesses to open, including landscapers and nurseries and places like that. Most construction, residential and commercial, can start up again as long as crews are following social distancing and other safety measures. And there's specific requirements for them that can be found on the county website and probably the city website. And tennis courts and basketball courts are open. And that is for people who are residing in the same household to use together. It's not for people who are not residing in the same household to use together. I'll stop there and let Chris give the news on the number of cases and what the city is doing, and then I'll talk about what we're doing as far as economic development for small businesses in town.
Great. Thank you, Mayor Pepper, and thank you for doing this this evening. Thank you to the staff, Trevor, for setting this all up. You're asking about the numbers, and I've lost that sheet of paper right now.
Oh, I've got it. I can do the numbers then.
There it is.
Okay.
I've got it. Sorry about that.
I'll let you do the doom and gloom, and I'll try to do the positive things, and you can do the negative things.
Thank you. As I fumble through my papers. Yeah, well, as we kind of mentioned last night, the number of COVID-19 cases around the world is now over 4 million, which is an unbelievable number. And the number of tragic deaths here in the United States is now over 80,000. So even though the numbers, as I'll give you in just a minute here, indicate that Santa Clara County is doing its very best to flatten the curve, as they've been talking about, it's still a tragic situation that we've been facing. So currently, as of May 11th, so just 2 days ago, there were 2,341 confirmed cases in Santa Clara County and 129 deaths. And I believe that's now up to 130 or 131 deaths in Santa Clara County. That marks about a 50% increase in the number of cases over the past 4 weeks, which again, that is a flattening of the curve. It was going up a lot quicker than that. So that gives you an idea of the numbers and the scale of the issue. Currently, I believe in Los Altos, the last number I saw was there are 23 confirmed cases here, which makes us relatively on the low side within the county. And I think that that's a bit of a credit to the members of the community who have been really diligent about following the shelter-in-place order. And we just want to keep emphasizing that as long as that public health order is in place, we need to make sure that we are all complying with it, because every contact can be critical. As the Dr. Sarah Cody, the public health officer, has said, shelter-in-place equals lives saved. So let's make sure that we continue to follow that and flatten that curve. Back to you, Mayor Pepper.
Okay. So back to construction. The construction on the community center is going on again, provided that the safety protocols are going to be followed, which I'm sure they will. And our recreation department has compiled a bunch of digital activities that are available on the city's website, losaltosca.gov, under Virtual Recreation Center, Virtual REC. There's also a COVID-19 link on our page where you can find lots of different information, and we are in the process of getting a postcard sent out to everyone. So if using the computer is not how you get your information, you will get this postcard with a number of other important ways of reaching out for help and finding out about resources. The City Council has provided grants to a few different organizations. We've provided a $40,000 grant to Women SV, which is a group that helps women and others who are in abusive situations. And we hope that people will go ahead and reach out to them if you need help. We've also given money to CHAC. I can't remember what that acronym stands for, but it's a mental health agency that works with our youth. And we've also given funds to the Community Services Agency, CSA, who's providing food and rent relief to folks in the local area. Last night at our City Council meeting, we approved the Small Business Relief Program approach. At our previous council meeting, we agreed to allocate $250,000 from the city to help our small businesses. And last night we went through what the program will be like. It'll be a lottery program to help small businesses, and the final details of who would be eligible are being worked out right now. Our Economic Development Manager, Anthony Carnesecca, is one of the key people working on this. We are hoping that Los Altos Hills will match the $250,000 that the City of Los Altos has put in. And there is also a way for members of the community to make their own donations, and they can go to the Los Altos Community Foundation website, and that's live for making tax-deductible donations to that Small Business Relief Fund. As you may or may not know, the farmers market opened last Thursday and will continue to operate on Thursdays from 4 to 8 p.m., as is our custom here in Los Altos. And there will be social distancing and other safety precautions so that people who visit the farmers market will stay safe. One other thing that the county is doing, as an elected, I'm fortunate to participate in updates that the County of Santa Clara holds twice a week, and Dr. Sarah Cody, the public health officer for the county, typically provides a lot of information on these calls. We had one of these calls today, and she did note that Santa Clara County cases are growing more slowly than other areas of the state. And this is because of everyone, all of you, what everyone has been doing to be very careful about sheltering in place, to make sure that we are continuing to have the social distancing, and to help relieve the number of deaths. And because of the work that we have done in Santa Clara County, because of what every single person has done, they believe that thousands of deaths have been avoided. And that's really to everyone's credit. And I know it's really hard to continue doing what we're doing, but we need to keep doing it and keep yourself and everyone else safe until we have a vaccine that will hopefully make all of us safe and we can get back to life as we used to know it. They are working on testing. So there is, there are some areas that are being opened up, and as things open up, the likelihood is that more people will be exposed and more people will get sick. And one way to try to maintain, keep a lid on that is to do contact tracing. So if someone gets sick, to carefully talk to all the people that they have been in contact with, to have those people quarantined or isolated, to make sure that the virus does not spread beyond the people that that person has been around. And because of that, they are actually looking for people to volunteer to help with the COVID-19 contact tracing. And there is a link on our website, losaltosca.gov/COVID-19 volunteer, where you can sign up to assist with this contact tracing. They're having a lot of county employees working on this, but they're also looking for members of the community to help. And if you sign up there, I'm sure someone will contact you to determine if you're able to help. So I think I'll leave it there and turn it back to Chris for anything else that you'd like to add.
Yeah. Mayor, you hit just the points I was going to, particularly the contact tracing is really critical. As we've mentioned before, we understand everybody wants to get the community reopened as soon as possible, but safely. And as the county has said, contact tracing is a critical component of that. So if you would like to volunteer or know someone who could volunteer, it's going to be quite a commitment, but it is critical for all of us. So please go on the city's website, go to the COVID-19 volunteer page, and please put in a letter of interest to us, and we'll make sure the county gets that. And that's about all I was going to add.
And then the other things I just wanted to add are the phone numbers that people can call. If you need assistance for shopping for groceries, picking up medication, or just want to chat, we have the Senior Connection Helpline. That number is 650-947-2797. And that is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And also if you need any other assistance, or want to talk to someone, we have the Community Connection Helpline at 650-947-2790. And I also want to note that the Los Altos Community Foundation has a link for additional help with groceries or other errands. Los Altos high school students are out there doing shopping for seniors, and they do a wonderful job. And so if you go to the Los Altos Community Foundation, which I think is losaltoscf.org, and find the link there to get assistance, all of those people are very happy to help. So I'm really happy to be part of this community and appreciate everything that all of you are doing to stay safe, to appropriately distance yourself from other people when you're taking walks, to be wearing masks, and to just hanging in there, and we'll get through this. It looks like it might be longer than we originally thought, but let's just stay safe and healthy. I think we're open for questions at this point.
Perfect. So once again, my name is Trevor Marston. I'll be moderating it. I'm the city's Management Analyst Fellow. And if you have a question, feel free to put it in the Q&A at the very bottom of your screen. I'll read it out loud, and then the mayor and the city manager will be able to answer it for us. So the first question is, can we please open the library? Allow families to order books on hold and pick up safely. When we return, we can leave them for 3 days.
You faded out right at the end of the question. When
when they return the books, the library can leave them for 3 days to disinfect.
Okay. Well, as you know, we're part of the county library system, and there actually are a lot of resources available through the library online. You can check out books online for audiobooks. You can't check out physical books right now or return physical books, but they have a lot of resources online right now. And I think that the website is sccl.org, Santa Clara County Library.org, I believe. And I'd suggest you go there to check it out. But again, we're going to follow whatever the directives are from the state or from the county as far as being able to open up any kind of facilities like that.
What plans has Los Altos made for when the city reopens?
Want me to take that one?
Sure.
Okay. Well, it's obviously evolving at this point. We're not sure of the timing of when things are going to be able to completely reopen. But the city itself as an agency, we are essentially open for business at this point. We are not open for walk-up business at City Hall or at any of our facilities. And as the mayor mentioned earlier, we are not offering summer recreation in-person programs, just the virtual programs online. But But otherwise, our maintenance staff is out working. Our police department, of course, is in full force. And our building inspectors are doing building inspections, and we are open for receiving applications for building permits. So we're open for just about everything, even though a lot of the City Hall staff is, of course, working from home under the shelter-in-place order. But and then in terms of what we will do as we kind of move forward with trying to reopen City Hall, it really depends upon when the order is lifted and what the restrictions are. But we're already starting to work on some changes to the interior City Hall that will make it work under the social distancing requirements.
And Chris, I'm going to ask a question. So how does someone apply for a permit? Are they able to do that online, or how does that work now?
Yes, they can go online, but they can also during regular work hours give our office a call, and our staff, the permit techs, will walk them right through the process. And in terms of handing in materials for an application, we actually have a system in place where you contact the building department and you drop off your materials right on the steps outside City Hall. So there's no direct contact with any individuals. And then our staff will come on and pick up those materials and take them back inside. So they've actually worked out a system that seems to be working pretty well. But the best thing to do is either go online or phone our building department. They'll be happy to help you.
Is the city considering temporarily turning state and main streets into pedestrian malls for the recovery period? This is a big kind of, I don't know if it's considered a fad, but cities are closing down streets in order to turn them into pedestrian and bicyclist areas.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. And I in fact, attended a meeting of the downtown property owners this morning where that was talked about, and the whole idea of placemaking and how can we make our downtown a place that's really welcoming to pedestrians and as opposed to cars. So I think at this point we aren't able to allow the restaurants to open, but we will be looking at this, and I suggested that the Chamber of Commerce and the Los Altos Village Association and the property owners and our economic development manager and others think about what we could do to make the downtown a welcoming place for pedestrians and to allow people to eat appropriately spaced out, to give the restaurants more room to be able to stay in business and serve the number of people they need to keep the cash flowing going. So it's a great idea, and we'll certainly be taking a look at that.
And if I can tag along to the mayor's comments, I was on the same webinar this morning, and thanks to the mayor's support and encouragement, we already have staff working on this very topic, and we are going to put it on the agenda for the council for their May 26th meeting, just for a short discussion to kind of get a little direction from the council and start moving in that direction on a strategy that might allow this to happen.
Some cities that are starting to open up are allowing restaurant seating, but only outside. Would Los Altos be open to an emergency ordinance to allow restaurant seating in the parking spaces in front of their businesses? Absolutely.
Yeah, again, I think, this kind of all plays together, and until the county changes the order that would allow that to happen, we can't do anything, but it's certainly something that we're going to consider. And I think it kind of ties in with the previous question that we answered.
Do we know anything about the nature of the Los Altos cases, i.e. nursing homes, et cetera, things like that?
No,
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we do either. That's kept confidential and not shared with us.
Do we have any influence over the county when it comes to allowing low-risk activities, curbside access, et cetera, or are we just sitting back and waiting?
Well, we're not sitting back and waiting. We're certainly actively engaged. And in fact, the mayors of all of the cities in Santa Clara County, we have a call now regularly on Saturday mornings to talk about what the strategies are, what's the status of testing, what can we do to move things along. So we're actively engaged, but we don't have a health officer here in town, and Santa Clara County is doing really well in terms of flattening the curve, and we're going to continue to follow the directives of the county health officer and not get ahead of that.
And as the mayor said, she has some input in all of this in her discussions with the mayor's group. And just today, I volunteered to be the representative from the Santa Clara County City Managers Association to be the city manager representative on the county's Economic Disaster Recovery Task Force. So I'll be following along with that process and working with that group also.
Who is responsible for keeping our downtown sidewalks clear of litter? Since the shelter in place, we observed a lot more takeout boxes, masks, things like that.
But you take that one, Chris.
Thanks. Generally speaking, the business owners are supposed to be, or property owners are supposed to be taking care of the curbs and sidewalks in front of their businesses. But we also have staff who will come along and try to clean those things up also. So I'll make sure our maintenance staff kind of does double duty and tries to go through there and make sure things are clean. And also, of course, we will try to keep making sure that the businesses are cleaning up after people as well.
Why is the farmers market allowed to operate when the county doesn't allow us to adopt the state's curbside pickup and other retail options, as well as the outdoor dining plan Newsom recently announced?
Well, the farmers markets have been identified as essential businesses by the state and the county so that they are allowed to operate. As far as other types of food services, the orders are slightly different depending on how it's working. I don't know if you can add more to that, Chris.
No, I think that's exactly right. Farmers markets are considered basically fall under the essential business listing, just as grocery stores are. And that's why they are allowed to operate. But again, they have to follow all the social distancing and safety protocols that grocery stores have to, or any business has to.
Can middle or high school students volunteer to help with contact tracing?
Great question. I'm glad somebody even is interested enough to ask that. There is some criteria that we have that the county has provided to us for volunteers. And it probably requires someone who is beyond middle school or high school age. And it also requires a commitment to be able to work 30 to 40 hours a week for the next 6 to 12 months. So probably somebody out of high school is more likely to be a candidate to volunteer for to help with contact tracing.
Continuing with contact tracing, will restaurants and retailers, when they reopen, will they be taking names of everyone that they serve for contact tracing?
I don't think we've gotten the instructions on how that would happen, but that's probably a really good idea.
Can you update us on the progress of the Foothill Expressway improvement project? And just as a reminder, city staff, you are allowed to unmute yourself.
And that's a great time to raise that, Trevor, because I think Jim Sandoval, our engineering services director, is participating in this webinar, and he probably has an idea of the schedule for the Foothills Expressway project. Jim?
Yeah, hi, Chris. In fact, I do. So the project started on April 13th. They broke ground. The current construction schedule is for weekdays is 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and possibly on occasional Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Most of the construction activities will take place in the coned off construction zones, but at times they're going to be temporary lane closures. Phase one of the project goes through around July 1st, and that will include the northbound and southbound Foothill Expressway right turns onto El Monte. they will be permanently closed. But right turns will be able to occur at the traffic signals. So if you want any more info, there's a link on our website that takes you right to the county website, since that is a county project. That's all I have.
Perfect. So switching back to the library, is there any way that we can find out what SECL is planning for the library?
We can inquire of them and ask. We had a meeting earlier this week of the North County Library Agency, and there was a representative from the county library there, and I can follow up with her and try to get more information, and we can get that posted on the city's website.
Will the city let us know before parking enforcement downtown is reactivated?
Yes, we will. I don't think that we're going to see a fast or comprehensive lifting of the public health order and the shelter-in-place order. So my assumption is that we will slowly ease back into this, but absolutely, if we're going to start going back and enforcing parking downtown, we'll make sure everybody is fully aware of that.
What is the protocol for shopping in local stores and restaurants? Are all customers supposed to be wearing masks while in the store?
Yes, whenever anyone is out doing going to an essential business, such as a grocery store or anywhere like that, people are supposed to be wearing masks. They don't have to wear masks if they're just walking around the block or if they're exercising, although it's a personal choice, and if you feel more comfortable doing that, that's certainly welcomed.
Are we able to bring back house cleaners? What's required to make that happen?
Yeah, I don't think that's permitted right now, because that's not someone who's in your regular household. So it's the shelter in place is still in place, which means that no interaction with someone who's more than keep 6 feet away from anyone else, and bringing someone who is not part of your household into your home to do house cleaning is not allowed at this point in time.
Has there been any discussions about city-specific protocols for customers in non-essential retail stores once the order is lifted, or will we just follow what the County of Santa Clara determines?
I'll take a shot. At this point, we are really doing everything we can to follow the county health order and not veer too far from that. Every so often there's a spot where we can interpret things maybe, but otherwise we are very trying to follow them as closely as we can. As we mentioned earlier, the compliance of all of us in all the cities in the county with that health order is what's helping flatten the curve. And so we definitely want to stay that course and continue to work with the county to make sure that we're following it as closely as we can.
Just to go back a question, what about window cleaners and babysitters in addition to the house cleaner question?
Same situation. I guess if someone's cleaning your windows outside, I don't know, that hasn't been specifically stated. Gardeners are allowed, and a babysitter, again, if it's someone who is not living in your household and is coming in from the outside to your home, that is not allowed at this time. The order does allow for childcare for up to 12 children in a stable group. That's not changing, where the caregiver is, or the caregiver or the child care provider is the same person, and those 12 children are the same children who are children of people who are working in essential services or working now in the areas that have also been opened up. but it has to be a stable group.
I believe we've already answered this, but is Los Altos considering making downtown car free and allowing the merchants and restaurants to use the streets?
Yeah, we already talked about that, and that's something that we are going to be discussing further at our May 26th council meeting.
Perfect. Given the concern that the virus can last on services for a while, do farmers market vendors take credit cards as a form of payment like stores?
I don't know.
I believe they do. I believe at least most of them take credit cards. I can't answer for all of them, but I believe most of them do.
And last question, I believe we've already kind of answered this a little bit, but essentially with summer coming, the library and camps, so resident wants them open, what can we expect from the leadership to bubble this up to the county?
Well, I think we've stated already that the summer camps that the city of Los Altos has operated in the past will not be operating this year. And as far as the library, I think we've already discussed that. There are no plans yet to open the library. I'm sure that the Santa Clara County Library is trying to figure out how they could do that in a safe way. But there are no specific plans or timing as to when that would happen. But there are a lot of online resources and the ability to check out audiobooks and ebooks so that you can, vary what it is that you're reading.
And I'll just tag along as far as the summer recreation programs are concerned. If there is some radical change to the public health order, which we certainly don't anticipate right now, that allows for greater gatherings, our recreation staff will move as quickly as possible to try to provide some offerings as quickly as we can. But at this point, the restriction around gatherings of people makes it really difficult for us to implement anything. And I just noticed that our Recreation and Community Services Director, Donna Leahy, is online, and maybe she can talk about that for just a second. Donna?
Good evening, Mayor, Chris, and the public. Donna Leahy, Recreation Community Services Director. I just wanted to take note that on our website, right now it's on the open City Hall hours, and we plan to move it to the COVID-19 page. And that is, we're doing a survey to solicit specific ideas and needs related to virtual programming. So if you go to our Recreation Center website and you don't see something in particular you're looking for, please let us know, and we will do everything in our powers to add it to our list of offerings.
So that's it for the questions. If residents have any other questions, feel free to add them below in the Q&A section.
Yeah, I want to clarify one item. There was a question about babysitters, and the county website says that, I'll read it verbatim, the order allows childcare establishments, summer camps, and schools or recreational institutions to provide childcare or supervision to enable you to work for an essential business or outdoor businesses, perform minimum basic operations for your business, or work as an essential governmental employee. You may also employ a nanny or babysitter to provide home-based care for your kids. So if you are a worker in any of those areas, then that you work for an essential business, an outdoor business, and need to perform minimum basic operations for your business or work as an essential government employee, then you can employ a nanny or a babysitter to provide home-based care for your children.
Trevor, since there aren't any questions on the list, and we have a captive audience of about 80 participants, let me emphasize again that the Los Altos Community Foundation is accepting contributions to the Small Business Relief Assistance Program. That is a grant program that the city has started. with the donation from the city council, agreed to contribute $250,000 from the city to get it started. The portal for the Los Altos Community Foundation, anybody who wants to provide a contribution, they need to go to the Community Foundation's website, which is losaltoscf.org. And then it's /2020 Los Altos Small Business Assistance Grant Program. So anybody who wants to make a contribution, please go to that website, and those funds will go directly through to grants to small businesses in Los Altos.
And then regarding the library, the library website is sccld.org, Santa Clara County Library District.org. And there's a free online library available 24/7 with ebooks, digital magazines and newspapers, streaming video and music, online classes and tutors, and more. So there's a lot of information there. They are also doing online story times and trying to do as much as they can to keep all of us well-read, well-entertained, and our children continue to be educated. So encourage you to go ahead and take a look at that website.
Perfect. Well, then I guess we'll wrap it up if there's nothing else. Any closing remarks? All the questions will be sent out. Will be sent out to everyone that signed up. So be on the lookout for that. Perfect.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the city staff and thank all of the residents of Los Altos for hanging in there and for keeping yourselves safe, keeping your neighbors safe, for continuing to wash your hands a gazillion times a day and keeping appropriate social distancing, wearing your masks, and just, trying to make the best of this unusual situation. The postcard that's coming out will also have information about how to form a block action team in your neighborhood. So I think all of us are getting to know our neighbors a little bit better as we walk around, and now is a perfect time to think about organizing ourselves so that when a big natural disaster occurs, God forbid, that we can help each other out and be well prepared. So hang in there, we'll get through this. And thank you so much for taking time this evening to join all of us and all of your neighbors.
And one last thing, the postcard that Mayor Jan Pepper talked about earlier with kind of city resources and other links will be, you should receive it from today to Friday, in between that time frame.
Excellent.
Yes, so you should
Thank
get
you.
it shortly. You're very welcome.
And I'll just add real quick, thank you to the Mayor Pepper for helping with this. This is terrific. It's a great way for us to be able to communicate with the community. Thanks to the staff. Thank you to Trevor, and thank you to all the people who participated this evening and listened in. And thank you to the community for staying safe. And please just keep doing that. We know it's challenging, but the safer you keep yourself, the safer you're keeping the community. So thank you.